Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Dandavat pranams, Haribo. Okay, so today we had a question online from one of our subscribers, so we're going to talk about that first. Nice question. So the question is, ready? If bhakti only comes from the bhakta, then what is the need for sadhana? If bhakti only comes from a devotee, then why do we need to do sadhana, our own practice? And this question came when we talked about this verse. You know the verse? Bhaktistu bhagavad bhakta sangena parijayate satsanga prapyate pumbi sukritir purva samjitai. So we'll break it down. Bhaktistu bhagavad bhakta. Bhakti, pure devotion and love, comes from the pure devotee who has relationship with Krishna. And it comes from association with that person. Sangena parijayate means it awakens by sangha, association. Satsanga prapyate pumbi. How do we get saintly association? Sukritir purva samjitai, by accumulated spiritual merits from our past activities. Sukriti means, kriti means an action, kriti. Like Param Gurudev's title was Kriti Ratna, the jewel of action. So kriti is action, sukriti means auspicious action. And there's different kinds of sukriti. This kind of sukriti we're talking about is called Bhakti Unmukhi Sukriti. Sukriti or auspicious activities which give rise to bhakti or interest in bhakti. Bhakti Unmukhi Sukriti. So by performing Bhakti Unmukhi Sukriti, we'll come into association of sadhus. By the mercy of those sadhus, then bhakti can come. So the question now comes, if bhakti only comes from the bhaktas, why perform any practice? So we'll talk about that. Okay, so first we talk about sukriti. We need sukriti, otherwise we don't get sadhu sangha, otherwise we don't get bhakti. So sukriti means, agyat sukriti is without knowing, just by chance. But we're doing something pious. Like we may open a charity center, and the public may come and take water or food there, and by chance some saintly person, sadhu, may come and drink water or take some food stuff there. Like you may give charity of rice or flour. That's why sadhus also go on bhiksha. They beg house to house, give me a little bit of flour, a little bit of rice, and then they take these things, cook it, offer to Thakurji, serve the devotees, and then that householder gets great sukriti, that is bhakti unmukhi, develops us towards bhakti. Alright? So that's sukriti. We may do it knowingly also, or unknowingly. We may go on parikrama by chance, or even dogs or cats may go on parikrama, or we may offer some flour, fruit, we may chant, we may do ekadashi. So this develops sukriti. So now sukriti brings us to the doorway to bhakti. Okay, so sukriti is helping us come into sadhu sangha. Imagine sadhu sangha is in a temple. The sadhu is in the temple, but first you have to enter into the door to the temple, and before you enter the door to the temple, you have to come to the temple by the road or make some plan and come to the temple. So sukriti gets you up to the door, but you haven't got bhakti yet. So how do you get in the door to go into the temple, to be with the sadhu, to get bhakti? Sharanagati. Sharanagati means surrender. 6 limbs of surrender. Accepting what is favorable, rejecting what is unfavorable, developing the mood that Krishna is my protector, my maintainer, my guardian, developing a sense of humility and only taking shelter of Krishna. In this way, gradually we can surrender. As much as we surrender, that much we enter the doorway of bhakti. To enter the doorway of bhakti and surrender, we need some shraddha. Shraddha means faith. Okay, we talked about that yesterday. Shraddha means Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Kohi Sudri Dhanishtroy Krishna Bhakti Koile Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. So in order to surrender, it said the symptom of Shraddha, faith, is Sharanagati. When we have this Shraddha develop, which is that by performing Krishna Bhakti, all other obligations are fulfilled and we'll be completely satisfied at heart. When we develop that faith, then we'll be able to surrender and enter the doorway of Bhakti. But once we enter, we still don't have bhakti. We're just starting to practice then. Once we're inside the doorway, that means we take shelter of Guru. Coming in the doorway means we take shelter of Guru after faith is developed. And then from Guru we receive Harinam and Diksha, or first Harinam and mantra, and then we can perform our process of sadhana bhakti. So this is called Guru Pada Shrai. This is the first stage in bhakti, is taking shelter of Guru, surrendering to Guru, and then Krishna Dikshadi Shikshanam, receiving Krishna Diksha, initiation and instructions, Shiksha, about how to progress. Okay, so by Sukriti we come to the door. By developing faith, then we can surrender. By surrendering, we enter the door. Then once we're inside, we take shelter of Guru, who is sadhu, saintly person. The nature of Guru is that Guru should be fully realized in the absolute truth. Tattvadarashi means fully realized in the absolute truth. Brahmanishtam, devoid of sense desires, material attachments. Free of the tendency to criticize others, always in their relationship and absorption in their internal service. Okay, so we take shelter of such a Guru. Then that Guru will teach us how to perform sadhana bhakti. This means our own spiritual practice. So then the question comes, why do we need to do sadhana if bhakti only comes from the bhakta? Okay, so then we discuss the next important slok given by Rupa Goswami. How does bhakti develop? Bhakti comes from the bhakta, but then what's more specific? More specific is given by Rupa Goswami. We should know this verse also. Krishna bhakti rasa bhavitamati kriyatam jidi kutopi labhyate tatra lolyam apimulyam ekam ambalam janma kosti sukriterna labhyate. In the previous verse we heard, by sukriti we come to sadhu sangha, and by sadhu sangha we can develop towards bhakti. But here it says, by millions of lifetimes of sukriti, pious action, we cannot relish or develop a taste for Krishna Bhakti Ras. Koti Janma means by millions and millions of lives of Sukriti, you cannot get Bhakti. And yet, on the other verse it said that by Sukriti we come to Sadhu Sangha. So Sukriti, like I said, brings us to the doorway. Then we need to develop faith and we need to enter in through surrender, take shelter of Guru, receive Diksha Shiksha. Then we start the path of Sadhana Bhakti. Okay, so what is our sadhana? Sadhana means showing that now I have become greedy to receive your transcendental mercy and wealth. What do I want? I want your mercy. And what is your mercy? The transcendental wealth that is in your heart. So sadhana means the cleansing of the heart, or the preparation of the field of the heart, the cleansing of the field of the heart, so that we can realize the form of Krishna in our heart, build that temple in the heart and serve there. This is the process of sadhana. So the sadhana process is given in another verse by Rupa Goswami. Kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya bhava sa sadhinabhida nitya sirasya bhavasya prakrityam hridi sadhyata. Okay? Kriti sadhya means by our own endeavor, bhavet sadhya, we want to strive towards the achievement of bhav, divine ecstatic love. Okay, bhavasya sadhana, nitya sadasya bhavasya. However, this is something very important. Our relationship and love for Krishna is internal and it's present within our soul. It's not something that we can manufacture. Nitya siddhasya bhav. The bhav is nitya siddha, means it's a nitya, eternal, and siddha is perfect. So our relationship with Krishna, whether it is as a gopi, a gopa, Mother Yashoda, like a parent, that is eternal. Our process of sadhana is to awaken that. There's another sloka in Chaitanya Charitamrita. We're going to learn these verses also if we haven't learned any of them yet. Okay, it said, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Sadhya Kabunai Shravanadi Sudha Chitta Korya Udai. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem. Pure love for Krishna is eternal and perfect. It's in each and every one of our souls as our eternal constitutional inheritance. It is what we are destined to achieve. And yet, how do we achieve it? It's eternal, it's perfect. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem. Sadhya Kabunai means by sadhana you cannot achieve it. By your own practice you cannot achieve it. So that's the question is, what do we need to do sadhana for? If by our sadhana we cannot get it, why do we need to do sadhana? Sadhya Kabunai. So then it says in the next line very clearly, what is our sadhana? Shravanadi Sudachitta. Sadhana means, what is our sadhana? Hearing Harikatha. Shravan means hearing. Adi means and so forth. So this is referring to the stages of bhakti or the processes of bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, hearing, chanting, remembering, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmani Vedanam, These limbs of bhakti are our sadhana. Like we talked about the 5 limbs that Rupa Goswami said. Right? Sadhu Sangha Nam Kirtan Bhagavat Shravan Maturava Shradaya Srimurti Savan. Staying in the holy Dham, being in Sadhu Sangha, doing Kirtan, hearing Harikatha, worshipping the deity with faith. These are our limbs of practice, sadhana. But by sadhana we cannot achieve Krishna Prem because it's already in our heart. How can you work to get something that you already have? It's with you, but our process is a process of awakening. Shravanadi Suddhachit. In order to awaken, we have to purify our consciousness. Our consciousness is lost in ignorance and maya. So by the limbs of bhakti and sadhana, it is gradually purified. How? How will we purify our heart? That's why it said, Tatra lolyam api mulyam ekalam. Unless we develop greed for this, we'll not be able to achieve it. That's why our sadhana is to awaken transcendental greed. Why? The devotees who have this bhakti will not give us that bhakti by force. Like the Vaishnavas, like Prabhupada, he has pure bhakti. Why not just like touch Abhiram, bas, done? Maybe he already did, I don't know. Maybe? You can just say, okay, done, finished, pure bhakti, Krishna Prem, Gopi Bhav, done. Why don't they do it? It said the greatest sin or violent act is going against someone's free will. If you love someone, you're not going to make them love you. So Krishna loves us. We have a relationship that is our destiny within our heart. Our destiny is that within our Atma, we have an eternal relationship with Krishna, and our practice is in order to awaken that. That is our destiny. How to awaken our love for Krishna. It's there within us. We have a relationship with Him. We've forgotten Him. So the sadhana is to clean our consciousness and to awaken divine greed. Chaitodarpana Marjana means, Mahaprabhu said, first clean your heart. Then you can realize your true nature and your true relationship with Krishna. So sadhana is to clean your heart and develop greed. Because it said, Tatra lolyam api mulyam. Greed for Krishna Bhakti Ras is the only currency by which you can get prem. So you just have to desire it strong enough, and then you can get it. In the Bible there's a saying, knock and the door will open. Ask and you will be given. So what does it mean to ask? Develop a daily prayer that we follow. O Shri Krishna, Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandhu, Jagat Pese, Gopesha, Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostute. This is asking for it. How do we ask for it? Sham Sundar Shikhanda Shekara Smeraha Samulli Manohara Radhikara Sigamam Kripanidhi Swapriyana Charang Na Kinkarim Suru. O Shri Krishna, you're so sweet. You have such a beautiful peacock feather crown. Please, my earnest prayer is that you bestow upon me the service of your beloved Srimati Radhika. So this is asking for it. So this is part of our process. We need to start asking for it because they will never give it by force. It said Krishna has given the jiva independence, free will. And if he were to take away that free will, we'd be no better than a stone pillar or a piece of brick if we didn't have that choice. So Krishna is not going to give it to us by force. Guru is not going to give it to us by force. So when we say Bhaktistu Bhagavad Bhakta, Bhakti comes from the Bhakta. But he's not just going to go, boom, here's pure Bhakti. Because that means your relation and your love and your service to Krishna has been awakened. He's not going to give it by force. So we have to develop greed for that. And if we don't have that yet, that's why we perform sadhana. Once we develop this divine greed, then hasotati rotati gayati unmada eva lokabaya. We become maddened in love, and then everything quickly comes. It said there's 3 stages of bhakti. Sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, prem bhakti. So from sadhana to bhav takes a long time, or it may go quick, depending on our development of greed. But from bhav to prem is very fast. Once we have bhav, then very quickly we'll give up our material body and go to Braj. Then we'll get Vastu Siddhi. Be born in Braj from the womb of a gopi. But now we have to do sadhana because our greed is not that intense. It's like if you have a little match. If you don't take care of the match, then the fire will go out. So when you light a match, if you want to start a fire, what do? It's not just like now our greed is like we light the match, okay? Okay, I have a little bit of greed. Okay, Krishna sounds nice, Braj sounds nice, Bhakti sounds nice. Okay, light the match. Now it's lit. But if you don't start a fire, it's just going to go out. So you have to take the match. Also, if a heavy wind comes, goes out. What's the heavy wind? Prabhuji says, doubt, then out. So when we get that first kindling of the desire for bhakti, of the greed for bhakti, we have to be very careful to protect it. That's what the fence of sadhu sangha is. So then we take that match and we light a fire. We have to collect some paper, some small splinters, or some cow dung, some camphor lights, very nice. Put it in a nice place where it'll be protected from heavy wind. Then our greed can start building. Now our greed is small. When our greed develops and becomes like a blazing fire, then we'll just be running after Krishna like Mahaprabhu was. Even Mahaprabhu is locked inside of the Gambhira, but he easily broke out. Even though there were 7 gates and he was running on the shore of the ocean, running towards the hill, Ha Giriraj, running towards the ocean, Ha Jamuna, and having spurti or realization of Radha Krishna's pastimes there. So when our fire of greed to enter Braja becomes to blaze, this is called Sudipta. There's 5 states of like intense love. First it's just like a little flame and it can easily go out. But if we kindle that and build it by sadhu sangha, by hearing these verses like Vilap Kusumanjali, by hearing the sweet pastimes of Radha Krishna, by hearing the glories of Braj, by taking shelter of the dust of Braj, by taking Mahaprasad, by taking remnants of the devotees, by serving the deity with love, by making garlands, all these are to awaken our greed and realize, oh, we have such a sweet relationship. Radha and Krishna are so sweet. They're so loving, so kind. It's not like they're some far-off God. They're very sweet and tender and kind, and we can have a very sweet and intimate relationship with them. So by this we build our greed. And when Vaishnavas see that we really want it, then they'll give it to us. Otherwise, oh, he wanted 10. He said, if you want Krishna 10% and 90% Maya, then you're going to be in Maya. If 60% Krishna, 40% Maya, 70% Krishna, 30% Maya, 100% Krishna, then Maya is gone. 10% Maya, you're still in this world. 100% Krishna, then you're in Braj. So this is according to our development in greed. That's our sadhana. And ultimately, then when they're merciful to us, they'll give it to us. So that's the stage of the first ray of divine love, which is called Bhav. It comes at that stage. So it's called Shuddha Sattva Vishesh Atma Prema Suryang Samyubhag Ruchibis Kidrimasrinyo Ruchibis Bhava Tata Shuddha Sattva Vishesh Atma Prema Suryang Samyubhag Ruchibis Kidrimasrinyo Kidrisho Bhava Muchite. That is Bhav. So that comes when the devotees who are connected to the Brajbasis, or who are the Brajbasis in this world, they see our intense greed and our intense prayer and practice. We now have a deep burning desire. Said like, if you want a rasgulla and you don't have any money, you'll go outside the rasgulla shop and anyone who throws a bowl out, you'll lick the juice. And you'll just have these dog eyes like, oh please, if I could just get a rasgulla. And you sit out there all day. Then someone or other will be merciful to you and they'll give you a rasgulla. If not in 1 day, after 2 days, 3 days, 100 days, 1 year, if you have enough greed, you'll get a rasgulla. Or you'll say, I'll work for your shop, let me wash the pots, I'll clean the floor, I just want 1 rasgulla. So if you want it, you can get it. But if you don't want it, they're not going to cram your mouth open with some pliers and, force it down your throat. You have to want it. So now there's a quick story. Once Gorkishwadas Babaji Maharaj, he's a complete renunciant. He doesn't have any possessions. He only dresses in 2 kopins. He has 2 kopins. One he wears and one he hangs on the straw hut. So one time a householder came and this man came to him and said, oh, Babaji Maharaj, I want your mercy. Please give me your mercy. You want my mercy? Take it! And he took off his kopins and threw it at it. He took his kopins off the side, the one he was drying, and he threw it at him. Take my mercy. What does that mean? You want my mercy then? Okay. Hoy sarvanas. Yashaham anugrahami harisye taddanam sayai. Krishna says, if someone wants to approach me sincerely, deeply, then first I will take away everything from him. I will take away all of his maya. If you really want to come to me, I will take away all your maya. Jay kare amar as. Prudi loves to say this verse. Jay kare amar as. Those who want to come with me, to me, tar hoy sarvanas, I destroy everything they have. Tabi na chare amaras, if they still don't give up desire to come to me, then I make them like an animal, wandering here and there like a beggar, eating straw off the street. Tabe khawa vaner gas. I make them like an animal, eating here and there like a beggar. Tabe na chade amaras. If they still don't give up desire to come to me, then I make them the servant of my servant of my servant. They still want to come to me, then I bring them to Braj. So it's a testing, the purifying our desire. Okay, one more quick story. They say that, look, one time a village lady who swept here and there, outside royal houses also. She was a sweeper lady. One time outside a very nice house, she found a beautiful shiny stone. And she took it home and gave it to her little kid. Her kid was like 3 years old. Her kid was playing around with it like a marble. One day, a friend came and saw this stone and said, "What is this?" I said, "I don't know, it's just something I found, I gave to my kid." Then they took it to a jeweler shop. The jeweler said, "This is worth $2 million. And she took it back. "You don't know, this is a very expensive diamond." And your kid was playing with it like it was nothing. So then she took that, she put it in a fancy box, she hid it in her house, she kept a guard so that when she went outside, someone was watching it. Then she cared for it so much. So this Krishna Prem is a transcendental wealth that is invaluable. But now it's like, okay, Prabhuji here, Thakurji here, everything's very easy. Okay, what's the point? We don't sense the value of it so much. So we don't think we need it so much, but when we realize the value of it, then we'll take such good care of it. Then we will nurture it so much. So they cannot give us what we don't want. That's like the story of Gorkishore. The person came to him, "I want your mercy." That my mercy, the mercy of Gorkishore, the pure devotee, is that you will go to Braj. That's their mercy. Oh, you want Gurudev's mercy? Come with me to Braj. Ke jabe bai, Baba Sindhu party. You want to get Mahaprabhu's mercy? Go with him to Braj. But no. I want your mercy. Give me a nice house, wife, car. That's your mercy. That's not their mercy. That's cheating. So it said that Krishna is not forcing us. Guru is not forcing us. You want it, you get it. In this world, everything is available. In this universe, Krishna made 8,400,000 species. You want to swim in the water? Be a fish. Be a dolphin. You want to fly in the sky? Be a nice bird. You want to, slither around on the ground? You can do anything you want. You can be a tiger, a lion, snake. You can do anything. According to your desires, you'll get a destination. You can be the king of heaven. It said, "Akamo sarva kamova moksha kamudaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham bhavam." By worshipping Krishna, you can get anything you want. Krishna will give you anything you want. You can become the ruler of the entire creation. You can become Brahma and control the entire universe. Oh, you don't want to be four-headed Brahma? You're not satisfied? You can become 1,000-headed Brahma and control a universe 1,000 times bigger than this one. Krishna will give it to you. Okay, take it. Shiva, take it. If you want to come to Braj, then that is an opportunity you have. It's not something that's going to be forced to you. So that's why it cannot be achieved by sadhana. Because by sadhana, you cannot force anything. If you want it, you develop enough greed for it, then they'll give it to you. Here, take it. But like the child who didn't know the value of the diamond, there's no point in giving a diamond to a 2-year-old who's just going to throw it in the garbage. They get bored of it and they find some other more shiny piece of glass and, oh, this is better than the diamond. So our process is to awaken divine greed by purifying the heart, Shravanadi Sudachitta, purify the heart, realize our true nature, realize the true speciality and value of this thing that we have an opportunity for, and then nurturing and cultivating our greed for it. And when the greed becomes strong enough, then Trivikram Goswami Maharaj would say, first deserve, then receive. When you deserve it, they'll give it to you. But this is our inheritance. Like a father has an inheritance for a child, okay, when we grow up, when we're ready for it, take it. Okay, we'll stop here.